It's May 14, 2023, inside one of the venues in the convention center of the Kalahari Resort in Round Rock, Texas, where Low Tide City 2023 was taking place. In this venue and this venue only, an event for the game of Splatoon 3 was being hosted. This event held 50 plus teams and over 200 plus entries, making it the second biggest LAN in Splatoon's history. Currently, 2 teams are on stage to play what will be considered as the best set cast of this tournament. On one side sits Persistence, and on the other sits Yum. Both teams and players are well established among the mid-level community as they face off for a spot in the top 16 bracket.
He trying to go for a flank potential out here. Gets called out with a Trizuka. It's coming in. Persistence only has one down. That's a wipeout. Yum going to be able to get back in there. Persistence able to get back out there. 4 more on top of that. Finally gets some more points. Huge!
Austin. No. Yeah. Incredible gameplay there out of
I'm done. We got Yum versus Persistence. What a good name, Yum.
Yeah, and Persistence has been around for quite a while now. They're a
They're
well-established team. And Yum is, I do know Looples pretty decently. They're an incredible player. There's 20 Lunas, and we're seeing 2 of them on the same team, so I don't know who's who.
I tried to gather myself, just trying to calm myself down walking up that stage.
I was honestly super nervous because, like, it was my first ever LAN.
I mean, I felt confident seeing some of our stuff. I did feel a little shaky. Whenever I go into a set, I always feel shaky.
I was nervous because I've never fought Persistence before in tourney. Before, like, we'd actually got on stage, I had watched them play the other team in our groups, and I saw that they were, like, really coordinated, especially with, like, Zip and their strikes and everything, so that had me a little worried.
I was just nervous because I knew it was going to be on stream in front of everyone, and, like, it wasn't going to be an easy set.
There was a lot of nervousness, even though I'm already used to it because this is, like, my 3rd LAN.
I was thinking about that morning when we walked through the door and we were like, I'm not ready to lose. I really wanted our set to go well, just to add to that little rivalry from the morning.
Before heading into game 1,
I was kind of trying to figure out, knowing the other players, what they were going to mainly try to play and what they were going to try to do with those weapons. Like, I knew Looples mainly played Ink Brush.
My team in general, we were all just like hyping each other up, like, okay, we got this, you know, just kind of mentally preparing because, I mean, for me personally, no matter which way the set went, I just was there to have fun.
I mean, we watched y'all's game against the other person in the group. Luna was watching, and she's like, "Wow, this 96 kind of go crazy." So after watching y'all set, we went to focus the 96, and going into it,
I just really want to get into a nice rhythm at the very start, but that's not what happened.
We are seeing these trip strikes coming out. Not really anybody moving up with them. I believe that we hear that crab. 96 trying to find a pick, but getting RNG'd a little bit, as you do.
Oh, you hate to see it happen. The randomness coming in. Not going to be able to get those shots they wanted. But now no one's really picked that up yet because this is kind of like a 2v2. But now we have the 4 people from Yum coming in. Going to be able to pick up that Rainmaker.
Ooh, huge Ingzuka shot.
That's gigantic. Now we're going to go all the way to the left here. No competition. Going to be able to get that free checkpoint break, and we're going to go for it.
And that is 3 down on Persistence. So we're going to see Yum get pop here, and they're going to want to rush forward with this. Booyah Bomb going to be able to enable them to. They get another pick. They're going to be able to get across on Inkable. Probably there they go. And that is a push to 24.
I was feeling confident once we pushed it down to 24. I like knew like we had it in us. Like the set, like we weren't going to get run through. We had a fighting chance.
And Rainmaker, once you get like a pretty good push going, it's pretty hard to come back from that. So I was just like, I gotta defend for the rest of the game.
They got all the way down to 24. Yeah, I was not feeling good, especially because it was Rainmaker undertow. I was like, this is definitely bad considering this map. We really need to make a really strong push.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate. but like I said, we just had to keep focused.
For defense, but here comes a big push coming out from the Stamper. Not going to be able to get anything accomplished in the process besides just being a distraction. Gets a pick. That's going to be huge. Here comes the Ink Strike. They're just trying to paint.
The Rainmaker.
Okay, here we go. They're in the back line, running away from that Ink Strike on top of it. It's going to be a very big push for NM. Look, there's so much orange in the process. They have to get Delta out of there. Delta gets knocked down in a trade, trying desperately to get back up there. There's so much orange, but you can't make that push because there's too many players from Yum already over there trying to paint as much as possible. This is so difficult.
And here's the problem that we're having. Their
Slow
person
down.
with special did grab the Rainmaker, so that special, gone. That crab, unusable.
Damus.
And they're trying to get through, and we're seeing that Toxic Mist, just like you were talking about earlier, just fully shutting that down. And now we're seeing Tri-Strikes, which in combination with that Mist really slows things down. They're going to be able to get the checkpoint, and I'm going to go down instantly. That is 2 down on Yum, though.
I was stressing because we got that lead pretty early, and I knew it was pretty good. We just had to play defense, but for the rest of the game, Persistence had really good offense, and it had me scared because I knew at any moment if we mess up our defense at all, they could easily just run a lead, and that'd be really hard for us to take it back.
We were trying to hold specials, that's for sure. I think we weren't terribly worried. I had strikes, and we had rain to just push all back. We knew that since y'all were playing the 96, it was super dependent on y'all's paint.
That up, people are getting hyper, throwing out some more bombs on top of that. Not gonna pick it up just yet. We want to fight, try to get one splat on the process. We see Neat trying to go for a flank potential out here. Gets called out by the Trizuka. A huge pickup coming up from Yum as they're gonna continue this onslaught. 4v3, desperate attempt to try to pick it up, just try to get that circle to spawn back in, give them some time to be able to get in there, but I don't think they have enough time to be able to do anything out of this.
That's a big pick from the 96. They have that wall to try and keep stalling, but they stood in the wrong spot. We are seeing the Brush trying to get in here, not gonna be able to because of that Mist and Rain, though, just like we were talking about.
It's so cumbersome in that choke point to get up there when you're slowed down on top of that. The Rainmaker resetting is devastating news for Persistence.
So they have them Persistence right now.
And they need a pick immediately. You see NM trying to get in there. We have 4 players back on deck. They're trying to find a path open. No picks yet on the deck. They're just trying to wall them out, prevent them from being able to go there. Here comes the Kraken. This is the opportunity. Falls right. There's the Booyah Bomb to shut you down in your tracks. Yum taking away game number 1 in a pretty nail-biter of a match.
I was just speechless at the time, and even now, just thinking about it, I'm like, damn, we really did that game 1, and it just kind of helped my confidence a bit, especially going into the game being a bit nervous.
I was mainly pissed that for some reason Lucio was on the right side, even though we're all mainly pushing up left. He's not really putting any pressure, not really doing much over there. I felt like if he was with us, maybe we could have done something or went a little bit more on right to be able to go behind him. But he was just in a dead man's land.
There was definitely a couple mistakes that I made because I was getting in my head a little bit.
It definitely felt good winning game 1. We really popped off. I started doing the undulator pose at the very end.
We lose game 1, unfortunately, and that's not how I wanted things to go, because I knew we can definitely beat them. I feel like we were the better team, but that just didn't happen well. So we had to focus on game 2, and then because of tournament nerves, I made a bad call, and I told Lucio to switch to Ink Brush.
Another map that I don't think, at least me personally, I don't think Ink Brush is that good on that map. And then so I switched to Octobrush because every time I would scrim on that map, we'd go against the Octobrush, we just get shit on. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll play Octobrush, even though I've never played it before.
I've never seen Lupus play anything but Ink Brush, and that was the wrong call to make.
Manta Maria.
Double trip strikes here coming out from Yum. Definitely going to be able to enable them to get in and allow that Brush to run wild.
Seeing Persistence pull out the Ink Brush on that map, I went into that way more confidently because I knew that it was just a winning matchup right there.
That first time we saw mincemeat clams a little bit. It's not that extreme.
I miss those days.
I don't.
What do you mean? Oh, we got some battles going on right now. We got trades coming in. Persistence only has 1 down. That's a wipeout. Yum going to be able to get back in there. And they have 2 power clams to be able to throw in there. This is looking like a dunzo match. They have the free real estate over here. So much pinking, and they're continuing to fight. Let's see if Persistence can try to clean this up and try to make this big push afterwards, because right now Persistence is dominating.
I felt really confident after we got that big push in. I knew we can just sit back, we can defend, we don't have to stress too much.
Game 2 was probably the calmest I was that set. I didn't have to worry about nearly enough about what was going on. I painted, I threw suctions, I striked. It was back to the day in, day out work.
It was mainly that Brush that was stopping us.
This man pulls out Octobrush and just fillets our shit because we were not paying attention to him at all. They got one good push and we just couldn't make anything out of ours.
And this is one of those scenarios, like they have the clams that they could maybe try to make this work. They have 16 seconds, they have trip strikes, they're probably getting close to other specials because when you're holding a power clam, your special builds faster.
Here come the ink strikes, trying to make some
Two down,
openings
two
for him.
down.
That's 4v2. Here comes the Kraken on top of that, trying to paint up, trying to catch Luna. Still on top of that, gets the clam in.
They have a jump,
This is very important.
They'll
Here
just
comes
need
the
3
jump.
clams after it, but they're not going to be able to get it in. It's just that Neo Splash. Stormy gets called out, and that is going to be game to Yum.
Shutting down that push that was actually looking pretty promising for
They
Persistence.
just needed that power clam and a couple more, and they had the clams, but they couldn't get the power in, and Neo couldn't find a sneaky way over to the basket.
Lo and behold, we're down 0-2. And I'm like, fuck, this is bullshit. And I'm not playing well at all. I'm not playing well in the slightest.
I was really happy that we had won that map because that was pretty much the hardest map for me personally, and winning that was really relieving.
Persistence, down to their final game, would have to do a reverse sweep to win the set.
Winning game 2, I thought we had this in the bag.
I felt cocky. We hit the undulator. We were doing the we got really confident. I was really excited going into game 3. I thought we could shut it out.
Funny feeling, because it wasn't true.
Things are looking so rough out here for Yum. For the first time, Persistence actually finding themselves in good footing. Unfortunately, going to lose that zone again. This is just a back and forth constantly. It turns purple, it turns yellow, it turns purple. No one's getting rid of the penalty points, but Persistence able to get back out there. 4 more on top of that. Finally get some more points. Huge! That big triple changing everything for Persistence. Gets back in there. It is still holding yellow. They're holding middle ground so well right now in this 2v3 action, and they're still winning. Here comes the jumps coming in from Jump. They have to go to the push right now. They go down right after the special. Going to continue to just stop out that push. They just want to paint the yellow zone. They want to get more yellow, and they get it reset.
It was getting pretty hype in the audience, and I could just hear everyone being like, oh my god, and I'm like, oh shit, what if they bring this back?
It was definitely feeling better watching that brush and being able to keep them back.
We are pushing them back constantly. We're constantly having control of the zone. Neo was literally popping off on his 96. Things are looking really, really good for us.
Oh, this is what was happening for Persistence in the last game, right? Using your specials for survival. Managing a big pick on top of that. This is huge. They can get some more out of this. Here comes an ink strike coming out from Team Yellow. Persistence trying to keep it up. A reverse ink strike coming out from Yum. Not going to be able to any mileage out of it. That's 2 down on Yum's side. Persistence getting back in there. Has 3 alive. Here comes Luna with an ink brush, throwing out a bomb, trying to catch someone or just get some more paint. They have to push forward at this point. There's only 2 points left, and Persistence takes it.
Persistence showing that they are, in fact, persistent. Yeah.
2-1.
We ended up KOing, so that made me feel happy. Popped off a little bit. Lucio slammed the table. The switch jumps out, and then he just disconnected. But it's okay. The game was already over. But I could tell Lucio wanted it. Lucio isn't the type of person to show a lot of emotions, but I could really tell that he wanted it badly. I could tell that he wanted this.
I personally felt like it was a lot better for me playing that entire game. That third set anyway.
I was thinking we can make it back for sure. Like, it feels good. Like, we can definitely make this back.
I don't know. After the game ended, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, let's just move on, because I didn't want to start thinking like, okay, what if they bring it back, and what if we lose? I just kept a level head there and was just thinking about the next game, really.
I was regretting being a little too overconfident, and I was starting to get a little worried that we might lose the set, but I knew there's one more game, we can lose another one. We're still chilling. We got this. Just try and stay confident.
Persistence, that team is just really good at fighting against actual backlines. I remember listening to Stormy call out, "You can use Zip now, use Zip." And I'm like, whenever I feel like when Persistence sees a charger on the enemy team, they're at home. They're like, okay, they're about to get fucked up.
Going into that game 4 on Tower Museum, I knew that if we want any chance of winning, we got to keep that charger at bay and make sure we just watch the flex on that brush.
I remember seeing their game against whatever that low ink team they were facing was, and they lost on that, I was like, okay, they lost against these guys. I think we take this easy.
Heading into game 4, I knew we can do it. I knew that's a really good stage that me and Looples play on, like with distracting and skirmishing and pushing up. So I knew we had something in us. We'd be able to take it.
Losing game 3 was pretty sour. I felt kind of stupid after doing the no. I was like, I couldn't stare at the camera anymore. I was trying to look to the left. I was like, that didn't happen, right? No one saw that. I don't know. It was just, it did not feel the same. Morals were down. That was for sure. We did not expect to lose nearly as hard as we did. We didn't even make it past 50 points in game 3. So, yeah, we were just trying to keep it together and try to finish out the set.
But they are 2 down already, and we are seeing Persistence going to be able to take up a lot of space mid. That is a 3rd player going down. We are seeing Lucio being able to grab this tower probably, but no, instead just choosing to try and claim more space. I'm surprised they did not grab that tower, though. We do see them finally being able to get on this checkpoint and start moving forward. They managed to clear it, finally. They have been in the advantage this whole time. It has just taken them this long to really get that objective going, which is what we have been consistently seeing from them outside of zones. Splash's mobility, wild. Can't compete with Ink Brushes still. As we see the H-Brush managing to pull off a shark, you're not quite able to trade the Octobrush. Does usually lose that fight. Trying to get the checkpoint, not going to be able to. Going to be forced to fully back off. We are hearing Persistence popping off on that stage.
It's huge for them. They're ever so right to do, right? They have now another shot at trying to break open that second choice point. Look how far deep they're going in. Checkpoint has been broken. Persistence is being able to push this even further. 3rd checkpoint approaching and counting. Yum is struggling to find any sort of defense against what is happening right now.
We are destroying them.
We were applying a lot of pressure, right, from this game.
They don't have a shot at all. They were on their plat for the basically 4 minutes of that game. We didn't give them no breathing room at all.
Bro, we got whooped. I was scared. That whole game, we weren't able to get a single thing started. We kept like getting everything shut down.
I wanted to go machine, but they told me to go brush, so I went brush, and then like throughout the whole match, I just couldn't do anything.
Don't know why they didn't play machine. That would have been a better pick. But
Neo in the top zone. Got to be able to look out for the splats as well. They're starting to surround on them. Yum pretty much in formation right now, trying to prevent this push from being able to get any further. We'll see how this is going to be able to play out. Have another battle going on the top. That's going to be a win for Persistence. That's 4-2. This is looking very bleak. 4-1. They only have a splatter shot left. Going for a Hail Mary with the shark. Unfortunately, goes down. And Persistence is going to be able to continue this push. We are at checkpoint number 3 now.
But a suction box.
Yes, I mean, it was a good pick in general just because they're in the middle of throwing that strikes, but yeah, you need to be able to try to get in there and get something going. Here comes the Trizuka. That's 2 shots. Wait for that 3rd swing before trying to get a push. Not going to be able to commit to that 3rd swing. Managed to do so. Only just try to keep them pushed back. Yum is finally going for the final push of this game. Can they pull this off? It's all about these last few fights. These are the most important fights of potentially this set based on what they're going to be able to do. 2nd checkpoint has been reached. We're seeing this big push coming out from the brush. We're back on the 2nd checkpoint. 1 is down.
Strikes are out.
This is looking really tough for Yum. Persistence being able to shut this down right away. They're backing off. Here comes a triple ink strike as well as a Trizuka. 3's all about, and unfortunately Persistence is able to get back on that tower, jump on it, and stop it in its tracks.
And we are going to a game 5 to see who gets to head on towards top 16.
This is such a huge deal.
It is.
I thought it was going to be a 3-0 closeout for Yum.
It looked like it. But we are going back to a more unconventional map, which seems like it has favored Yum so much.
Where are we going?
We are going to Flounder.
before heading into that game 5 on Flounder Rainmaker, it's such an obscure map. And I knew Lupus was gonna switch your machine.
Me personally, I was not ready to lose. Going into game 5 was probably the scariest moment. I was a little calm. We could clutch it up.
For sure, I was hella excited because we were starting to make a comeback.
I was a little worried. I was shaking going into game 5. I'm not gonna lie.
We can take this set.
I was scared for my life. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta prove myself now. Like, this, it's now or never. So I kind of just got my shit together in my head and was like, all right, let's do this.
You mean, even though if we would have lost that set, like, it's still, we like put on a good show, I guess.
Over there. Meanwhile, here on the middle of the map, Lunazuka trying to just paint out a little bit more, throwing out some money, just kind of controlling the zone. No one's taking that big danger, but as I say that, that's a big push coming out from Persistence. Stormy getting in there and just trying to force some big openings out.
Seems like they're hesitating a little bit to take this checkpoint, seeing the miss there, Trip Strike's coming out, forcing them to take it.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you need that push.
You do. Sometimes you do literally need that push.
Gigantic for Yum, but unfortunately, there's someone still there. That's not a wipe I don't see, but that's okay. You'll be able to get some more picks. Someone's got to pick up that Rainmaker. I know you wanted to play a little more safe, but here we go. Painting the orange. Which checkpoint are we going for? Right or left? Loopholes is up there trying to get some more in coverage for their team. Trying to paint some more in. We break that checkpoint, and now we got to pick up yet one more time to take that lead.
We do, but they're playing really smart here, waiting for their other player to jump in and being able to get their specials in order to try and create something more sustainable here. This is not, either of these are comps that want to dive in, but two of them have gone down, and that's going to be a really rough situation for Yum, as the Crab Tank's going to be able to take out a third.
It is now 3v3. We got tons of guns coming out from both turning Persistence and Yells. Here come the triple ink strikes. Colors of bound bombs everywhere. We're not making that push just yet. NM's holding on to that high ground for as long as possible before he's going to be able to force it. If we see a repeat of what happened last time, it's going to be a triple ink strike on top of him. Going to force him to move, and there it is. He's going to back up this time.
Yeah, he couldn't move forward that time because of how they were thrown. And that is his Splat Bomb being able to take out an M, not getting any more points on the board. This is still ridiculously close. Don't know why they were standing still for a second there. Don't know what happened. They might have thought they had gone down.
Yeah.
And we are seeing them able to get that huge pick. Oh my goodness.
It was a bait. Persistence time to shine, right? They still have the lead, but they want a bigger lead than that. Here comes another pick on top of that. Special's being thrown out, gets called out while in the middle of that zip caster. And unfortunately, they get stopped in their tracks. This is huge for you.
It is, but it's not going to be enough because Persistence still has the numbers advantage, and they should be able to get points here. But they're not quite. And there's Looples getting that pick, and we are just seeing such a fight. I have never seen scores this low on Flounder.
They can't get past the first checkpoint a second time.
Now Yum is starting to be able to break back into mid. Trip Strike's coming out. 96 is down. That's two down. Yum absolutely has a shot at this. They're grabbing rather than going for the reset, which I think is the right move in this situation. The Splash trying to go for the fight. They just need to rush this, though.
Delta's going in there. They're trying to pay as much as possible. A little bit longer. They take the lead. They die down. They have 45 points remaining, and now Persistence has to do something in this situation.
So overtime is almost out, and this is just insane gameplay here out of Yum. Yum absolutely gonna
How are they alive? How are they alive? They're still going, and they lost it. Yum takes it.
Huge. Austin. No. Yeah. Incredible gameplay there out of Yum. They knew exactly when they needed to rush that. Gave me near a heart attack in the process, but...
Incredible final game for Yum. Being able to take that out at the very last second, but a heartbreaker for Persistence. You saw how close they were.
Yeah.
How close they could have had it. And they held on to that Rainmaker at the very end for so long, but I think they were just stalling the inevitable once it was a 4v2. But they hung in there, and there was actually an opportunity where they could have gone in.
It was ecstatic. It was a really happy moment. I saw Lunazuka go and hug Looples. She was so happy to win the set. I go and rush over and start hugging them too, and Luna, and so we started all hugging together. It was a really happy moment.
That was like one of the best feelings I've had in comp. I hadn't felt that happy winning a set since I won low ink several months ago. I instantly jumped out of my chair and I ran over and I hugged Looples. That was, I thought it was over. We kept going down. Persistence held their defense really well during overtime, and I knew right then we needed to get the pick, and Looples was able to clutch up.
It was just relief, happiness, just I don't know, popping off, hearing the crowd, because the crowd was insane at this point, because it was throughout the set they were pretty loud, but at the last two games they were just going crazy.
I was gonna cry. I was so happy that we had won on stage in front of everyone. We all just went up and hugged Looples. It was so amazing.
I was definitely upset that we lost. I mean, we had some nice games, but if I'm gonna be real, it definitely did not make me feel good about my individual shit. I definitely could have done better. I was like, damn, that fucking sucks. I really wish I got top 16.
At first, I didn't realize what you died to because I was busy focusing on the front lines. But then I turn around and I see you die. And I'm like, what? What did you die to? My emotions when I felt that time, I was just confused and also a little disappointed that we lost. But I was a little bummed out that we lost a set. It was so close either way.
That felt horrible. I put my head down on the table. But then I looked back up, I hugged Neo and shit. I hugged my teammates and really good game. I turn around, shake hands, really good game. After I shake hands and everything and whatnot, my best friend, Sky, comes up on stage, and they're like, good job, Stormy, or good job, y'all did really well. That was such an amazing set. I don't know what broke within me or what caused it, but I started crying. Sky can see this, and they're like, what's wrong? And then I made it even worse, and then we hugged. I'm walking off stage. Everybody's hyping it up. Like, that was such an amazing set. They're fist bumping me, high-fiving me. And I'm giving the nice gestures back, because that's what you got to do. You don't have to, but that's the last thing I wanted to hear or do. Like, I didn't want to see anybody right then and there. Fist bumping people felt good. Some people somebody gave me a quiet fist bump, knowing damn well how I was feeling right then and there. I was not feeling good. I walk out the venue, I go to my room, and then I just sit there. I feel better now. I feel way better. I actually felt better later during that day. Yeah, no, that's just how that went, and it sucked because this is the second year in a row that we didn't make top 16 or top cut at LTC. But I really did have fun. That was an amazing set. And so GG's to Young, that was a great set.